Hey guys, we're live again from Colorado Springs, and right now I'm with Peter Cunningham, who is the race car driver for the 2018 Acura TLX GT. Hi Peter.
Hi, how are you doing?
Here you go. Here's the mic. So can you tell us about the TLX GT? This is a brand new car, but obviously this is a purpose-built race car.
Right, this was a Pirelli World Challenge car starting in 2014, and we competed the second half of 2014 and then 2015, and then we switched to rear-wheel drive TLXs, so then this chassis was retired, and it's basically been saved as a spare unit back at our home offices in Saukville, Wisconsin, but we never ended up needing it for anything, and then the TLX program ended after 2016. We restored both of the rear drive cars for different museums, and we were just getting to this third chassis to restore it as a four-wheel drive unit when the idea from Acura came, hey, let's run Pikes Peak with it. So we were very happy to do that, but we had a lot of work to do in a short period of time to get it up and running, but we got it here, and it's the original chassis, but it's got certain updates for this event. It's a 2018. It's got the new front end for 2018 on the TLX. The rules are more liberal in Pikes Peak world, so we made just a couple of modifications. We shortened up the gears, so instead of 177 top speed, we have 136 mile an hour top speed. We added fender louvers to evacuate the air.
A little bit.
So we had these developed in the wind tunnel for the World Challenge program, but they weren't granted for the package in World Challenge, so we never got to run them. So now we were able to do that, and that helps evacuate the air out of the front wheel houses. And then did a couple tricks on the front end with the aero, but really the only other thing aero-wise is we moved the rear wing back 7.5 inches and up 3 inches. So now it can work as a better lever with less drag to get the rear downforce. So we couldn't be more excited. We came and we tested on the 2 test weekends prior to the race week, and learned a lot. It's only a 12.42 mile course, which is like 3 laps at Road America.
But can you explain the race a little bit for those who may not know Pikes Peak Hill Climb?
Sure. To finish my point, the Road America has 42 corners in just over 12 miles. At Pikes Peak, there's 156 corners, so it's a little bit different. And I would equate it more like a tarmac rally stage. You have a start line, and at 9,000 feet and 156 turns later, some very high-speed corners, some very tight switchback corners that follow each other, and then you get to the 14,000-foot summit, and that's it. You get one run, and that's it. So you have to mind your P's and Q's and not throw it off the road. If you throw it off the road in the wrong place, you have a shortcut to Colorado Springs, and that's not something that we'd like to try to do. So we've tested on all the different sections in the test days and on the practice week, and then we qualified yesterday, and we qualified in first place for our class, but second place overall. The only car that beat us was a prototype little car with a lot of horsepower and four-wheel drive, and is very well driven by Romain Dumas. So he's certainly favored to win overall, and when we set out to do this, we didn't really think that in a million years that would be something that we could ever do against a car like that. But there's a lot of cars right behind us in qualifying that could certainly beat us for the second place position. So goal number 1 is to get to the summit in one piece. Goal number 2 is to try to win our class, and if we can do that, we'd also like to turn a representative time by hitting our marks and turning in a good 156 corners in a row. to try to get a decent time below 10 minutes.
And you know this course pretty well, right? I mean, you've
Well,
been here in previous years?
you know, they say that you have to do it a number of years before you really know it, but I feel pretty good about my level of knowledge. There's one
and
particular.
it changes every time, right? Every year. I mean, the surface is really rough.
There's at the top, it's very bumpy, and those bumps with the frost heaves of the freeze thaw many times each year can be an issue. But weather can certainly play a role. So we want to have a nice dry day for everybody to have a fair shot at it. But by starting as one of the first cars, I think we have a better chance of having a clear track ahead. So we'll just have to see what happens.
Absolutely. Can you show me a little bit inside and what kind of, I mean, can you talk about like the power numbers or what kind of power is in this car?
6th overall out of all these cars that are here.
In World Challenge trim, it was certainly over 500 pounds, even with limited boost. They limit your boost at every 500 RPM. There are no rules for boost here on the mountain, but because of the turbo package that we have a certain speed limit on our turbos on how fast we can spin them.
Yeah.
And because there's no air up here, they have to spin much faster to generate the same amount of boost.
Yeah.
So we actually have less power than what we had in World Challenge, but we have very good gearing and a very smooth running package as tuned by the Honda Performance Development team. So we're hoping for good reliability and even power throughout the 5,000 feet of elevation change.
Absolutely. Well, can you actually mention the other two cars? I mean, this is kind of a factory effort this year as well.
Right. My two teammates are James and Nick Robinson. Nick Robinson is driving this brand new 2018 TLX, which is kind of a little hot rod. It's a front-wheel drive TLX, but it's got a big hairdryer bolted to it, so it's making, I'm thinking 500 horsepower. So it's a pretty trick little piece, and he's running in the exhibition class. He qualified first in the exhibition class and 13th overall. This is his brother James Robinson. This is a Time Attack 1 NSX, and he's qualified second in Time Attack 1 to Reese Millen, who's a multi-time champion here on the mountain. So James is doing a really good job. So we have a really good representation from Acura here with these three cars, and anything can happen on race day, but we're hoping for strong results to back up our strong qualifying.
Well, thanks a lot. Well, of course, we'll be rooting for you at TFL. So,
all right.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks. You can watch at live.matchsports.com.
Yeah,
and you can see the live feed.
Yeah, live feed all day. I mean, starting at 7:30 in the morning, Mountain Time.
Yep. So you just have to go there and download the feed, and you can watch it. So it's pretty cool.
All right. Thanks a lot.
You bet.